Good afternoon, not morning, Connecticut. I'm Eric,
And I'm Tim.
and for the time being, we are still the Village of these podcasts, Connecticut's best and number one Masonic Fantasy Football podcast, because we are Connecticut's only Masonic Fantasy Football podcast.
This is very true.
How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing great, Eric. Good afternoon. It's good to see everybody. It's getting a little warmer here in
thank
New England.
goodness.
Thank the Lord.
Got oil on Thursday, man. I don't know if you heard, but I actually went down on a lark. I went down and checked the tank.
Start streaming. Okay, we're back.
All
we're back.
right.
We're back. Apologies.
Sorry, guys.
You know,
little technical difficulty. We
they-
got a splash screen when that comes up, the whole boo, and
Yeah,
have
yeah.
some crazy graphic in the middle.
I'll have to figure that out.
But yeah, as I was saying, so I went down and checked my tank on Wednesday, and it was just about zero. So I'm like,
Yeah.
and everything's oil, like hot water's oil. So I shut down the heat immediately.
Yeah.
And I started calling around a couple places in town. And shout out Sixers Oil in Canton. They were cool. They got me on the books for Friday. But I had to clear a trench on my front lawn for them to go
Yeah.
across the ice and the snow in order to get to my friggin' fill in the back corner of the house. So I called them on Thursday to see what the delivery window would be. And she's like, oh, we have a third driver out today. We can get you in from 12 to 2. It's like 12 to 2 tomorrow, Friday? It's like, no, 12 to 2 today. I'm like, I literally did a dance with the lady on
Oh,
the
there
phone.
you go.
So, so they were able to come out, and big shout out to them. My family was so happy that they didn't have to.
First time with oil?
First time with oil.
First time with
Even
oil.
when I was a kid, I never had oil before.
Yeah, we grew up with oil. I don't have oil. I'm lucky. I'm gas heat,
Oh, damn,
which is
you are so
beautiful.
lucky.
That was one of the when Aaron and I were looking for a house. It was like we had 4 things that would have made it perfect, which was city water, city sewer, gas, and central air. We managed to find all 4 in our house, which was good.
We would have loved all of those, but unfortunately.
I think I could live with a well.
Yeah.
I could live with a septic. I can't live without central air, and I can't live without gas heat because it's
So much cheaper.
why. Yeah. So fun fact, because I did grow up with oil, and we had oil for a long time at one of the places, at a couple of places we lived. Learn how to bleed your oil line.
Okay.
All right, and you can use diesel fuel.
Yep, I just learned that the other. Yeah.
So
That was really cool.
yeah, so when you run out, because we'd always run out when we were kids, always, and you'll always run out at like 10 o'clock at night, right?
And it's the worst time.
So the giant pain in the butt when we were kids was we lived in Avon, on Secret Lake, like right down the street.
Oh,
here,
yeah.
really. There was like one 24-hour gas station that did diesel, and it was in like fucking Torrington. So we'd have to drive all the way to Torrington with my dad, and he's bitching and cussing the whole way.
How
come
many
back.
tanks did he have?
We had 2 5-gallon.
5 gallons?
2 5
Gotcha.
gallon, yeah. So you'd go and get your 2 5-gallon, pour them in, and then what you have to do is there's like a little bleeder valve.
Yep.
So we used to have the little half milk carton, and you gotta just crack the bleeder valve,
Just a little bit.
hit the button on the pump to get it to start to circulate, and then eventually, and then as soon as you see the diesel start to come out the thing, let
Yep.
it run for like a 3 count just to like clear the air, and then
Gotcha.
close
Turn
it off, and then you're good.
Nice.
So that was always that was the winter thing, and I had to do it a few. We tried to be good, like when Aaron and I still had oil, like okay. But it's also like there's no like the oil gauge is just like a little thing sitting on top.
Yeah,
of
so you don't know. It's not definitive.
I think they got to have smart oil
They
tank
do.
monitors now.
I think you have to,
Well, now that you own your house, right? It's time to like wire it up.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
all the automate, like everything in my house is automated.
So you got
like-
the Echo and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I've got Echo as well. Yeah, I got rid of all the Amazon. I have Sonos in the
Oh,
house,
cool. Awesome.
so all of my Sonoses have it built in, so I can just talk to
that's
it
really
wherever.
cool.
But yeah, originally it was like the little pucks. I had the little pucks everywhere, and lights are all automated. The certain things I don't automate. I won't do smart. I'll do digital locks. We have like keypad locks.
Yep. That's what we want.
But I won't do anything that's directly connected to the internet for locks.
No.
I don't trust it.
Or like
Everything
the
else,
app
like,
on the phone, like I can't do that either.
we have the app for the front door because we never use the front door.
Okay, well,
like
that-
nobody comes in and out the front door, so it's more of a. I like to be able to look at the phone and see that the door is locked, but other than that, because I do the ring, I do have cameras everywhere. I've got keypads on the back door, on the garage door where we go in and out. I finally got a smart garage door opener, which is super nice. Because I have like a schedule, so if I forget to close the door, it's automatically closes at 8:30 at night anyway.
That's really
yeah, so
cool.
yeah, because we go in and out through the garage,
Yeah.
right? So, typical New England, nobody uses the front door. It's like the side door or the garage.
Or the garage. Yeah, we would too if we had the room in the garage. Got it half empty though.
Well, there you
It's
go.
not half full. It's half empty. I
Well, now you got to do. I'm about to build those. Like all of us these days, right? Totes. We've got those totes everywhere.
Yep.
Like the 17 or the 27-gallon totes. So I had built a couple years ago, like a little thing. It sits on the back. Not little. It's huge. It sits on the back wall of the garage. It's like a little workbench, and then I put space for 4 of those bins in because I got all like the holiday inflatables and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's some.
But now I'm gonna build another like lower one that I can get 8 more bins in. And just trying to clean all that stuff up. It's crazy. But so we got. Everybody is looking at this. Obviously, we got some hockey up on the screen.
We do,
because
'cause-
football's over.
But not completely.
Well, not complete. Well, is arena still a thing? I don't know.
UFL is going to start, I think, in March. If I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
mistaken.
I didn't.
I don't care about UFL, but it's something. I'd rather watch like the ladies in their bikinis play.
Canadian football, is that a thing still?
Well, isn't that like what the hell's the thing with the brushings and the
That's curling.
Curling, yeah.
No,
isn't that-
Canadian football's a real thing.
Oh, okay.
There's the CFL, the Canadian Football
Oh
League.
yeah, that's right. That's where Mansfield went for
See,
like a halftime.
yeah, Manziel was there.
Yeah.
That's where I think Doug Flutie came from there. Like
Yeah.
he came from there. Somebody else.
Doug Flutie had his own video game like
I do remember.
like 2 years.
Yeah,
like,
2 years.
Like, really? Man, that's
And
crazy.
it's weird because it's like 110-yard field versus 100-yard field, and
It's not to be metered. You like
no, it's not meters. It is yards. I'm pretty sure. We can ask Wikipedia. There's a couple of weird things about Canadian football.
yeah, we have
Here we go.
some hockey to talk about. We have a little bit of football.
So it's 110 yards or 101 meters. And then there was something else that was weird about it. It was like the way they score. Like it's still a touchdown and you start a play, stoppage play, scrimmage.
It's 65 yards wide.
Yeah, fractions of penalty, kicking. Yeah, they do a drop kick.
Okay.
Yeah, so they
For a
have
field goal? I mean, that's what it sounds
Yeah,
like. It's got to be.
kicking a ball after bouncing. Although rarely used today, it has the same status as in scoring as a place kick. I think they used to do drop kicks in the NFL too, like way back.
Yeah,
in the
way
day.
back when.
So they have a touchdown, which is still like 6. They have a point after touchdown, a field goal, a safety. Then they have something called a rouge. Scored when the ball becomes dead in possession of a team in its own goal area, or when the ball
So-
touches or crosses the deadline.
It's like a safety?
Kind of like a safety. But I guess you only get 1 point for it.
Oh,
It's
instead of
different
2.
from a safety
Okay.
in that it.
Oh, no, they do have safeties too.
Yeah, they have safety. It's like a weird mash of rugby and football, like American
Oh, this is
football.
different from a safety in that team scored against receives possession of the ball after they score.
Right.
Okay. Officially, the single.
It's
is
called a rouge.
A rouge.
A rouge.
But it's
Rouge.
often referred to as a single. The exact derivation of the term is unknown. It's not in Canadian
Yeah.
football. The scoring, blah, blah, blah. A rouge is also method of scoring in the Elon field game. Oh, man. Let's
Yeah.
not go there.
Yeah, I got get what I know: Edmonton, Winnipeg, Calgary,
Gotcha.
Regina, Saskatchewan.
Because
Shout out,
Regina rhymes with fun.
right? So sticking with the Canadian theme though, as we're talking about, Canadians. I guess congratulations to Team Canada.
Yes, yes. Well fought.
It was well fought. I got thoughts.
Okay.
Hockey's my thing, right?
Yeah,
I love
please.
hockey. And I just watching this, and it was. I go back to the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver, and while we're watching the final, me and my buddy were watching the final. U.S. is down. There's X number left. We pull the goalie. We do our thing. We score. We tie it. Goes to
Yep.
overtime. This is 2010. Sidney Crosby's in the league. couple years. Still, Sid the Kid, absolute phenom, and he scores the game winner overtime. Absolutely deflated. Like, U.S. takes silver again. So I'm watching these games. So I watch U.S. Canada on Saturday. 3 fights in 9 seconds. Like, set the tone.
Yeah,
Let's
right
go.
at the beginning of the game, right?
And Canada scores the first goal. Funny because it was Connor McDavid scores the first goal. Beautiful goal. Kid's got just a step gone. Puts it right over Connor Hellebuck's left shoulder. Like, just right up there. All right, and then we come back, score a couple goals. Dominant. I mean, dominant in Montreal, I would say. Dominant performance by the Americans. Now, part of the problem here is we beat ourselves up, I think, because we lose Charlie McAvoy.
Yep.
Matthew Tkachuk was done. He tried. Hockey players will play through
Lots.
just about anything, right? I mean, there was, who's the, I can look it up, but there was one guy who literally had a heart attack, like literally died for 3 seconds and tried to finish the game. It's, you get patched up on the side. I mean, even, I've obviously never played at that level, but, I can remember just getting like throwing tape on something and getting back out there and playing. Like, It's just what you do. Jordan Binnington, the Canadian goalie, this dude is Jekyll and Hyde, right? You watched the Saturday game. He doesn't look like a top 4 goaltender in the world because technically, essentially what they're saying is like these are the 4 nations. These are the top 4 nations in the world, and these are the best of the best that play in the NHL. He did not look like a top 4 goalie. No way. Coming to this game on Thursday, gives up some soft goals. Still doesn't look at it. Overtime comes. Dude becomes a brick fucking wall. Okay? Austin Matthews, arguably, you can. He's first or second best player in the world right now.
Right.
Definitely first or second best player in the NHL. Whether it's Connor McDavid, whether it's he gets stopped twice on the doorstep by Jordan Binnington, and then you look. Of course, it's all Monday morning quarterbacking, but you look at the scoring play for Connor McDavid, and you see the puck just off the boards in the corner. You see 2 U.S. defenders pinching, and Connor McDavid is just sitting in front of the goal.
Yeah, waiting.
Like, there's no way you don't give somebody like that kind of time and space. Forget it. I mean, it was over. But I mean, for what this was, right? And it's the year before the Olympics, and there's always that question, will the NHL let their players play in the Olympics? Will they not? And next year they will, right? So in Milano Cortina, they'll be there to play. But a tournament like this in place of the All-Star game is absolutely crazy. It was absolutely electric, and
they
then
actually wanted to play. Like, they actually, it was a competition.
There is something about putting on a jersey or a sweater for your country that just brings out, especially in hockey. I mean, it happens throughout the Olympics, right? And we see basketball. Although, no, well, I'm not going to say that. Back in the 90s, right, when the Dream Team first came, right, and it was Jordan, and it was Bird, and it was Stockton, and it was Malone, and Ewing. Was Ewing on the? I think Ewing was on the team.
Ewing's on the team.
Those guys played, and they played both ways. Now, didn't we lose in the last Olympics, to Bangladesh or something? Like, it was like we got embarrassed by some, it was South Sudan, I think.
Something like that, yeah. And it wasn't their first time,
it was like their first time. And these guys, I'm sorry.
It's not the same as it was.
The NBA, they do not play hard. Like, these guys, they are the epitome of, I got paid, so I'm just going to do what I want.
Yeah, talk about football all you want like that, and football is a lot softer than it was 50 years ago.
Oh, God, yeah.
But they come to play, and they play every time.
They do come to play.
You stub your toe and it's a foul.
Oh, exactly. So it's just, it's pathetic. And you watch, I don't watch the NBA. I'll watch a Celtics game. Celtics are my team. I'll watch a Celtics game if it's on and there's nothing else on.
College ball's fun to watch.
The level of effort, Eric, is just why? Why even bother? You know?
And that's why we got our ass handed to us from a team that was...
we did end up winning gold in Paris.
We sure did.
But it was,
that first game was... Like you chose the perfect
that
word.
was
It was
that was
embarrassing.
last year, right? 2023
Yep. Yeah, 24.
Olympic basketball.
It was nuts, man. No,
I mean, we did. Yeah, we did.
we had so much pride during the Dream Team days. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't even funny.
Yeah, like we won a 5th straight goal, but I mean, again, it's like, yeah, we won, but
with the level of talent that was,
we should have been
talent.
blowing everybody out,
Yeah.
right, the whole time, and the fact is, like, we didn't, and the people that keep talking about LeBron James and Kevin Durant and all these guys, I mean, I just don't see it. Like Steph Curry, I think he's a really good player. I think
Katie used to be very dominant.
he used to be.
Katie used to be, but he's showing his age. He really is.
But I mean, I go back like even early 2000s, like Kevin Garnett, like those guys, like they were ballers, man, right? And like you wanted to watch that. Like it was rough. I mean, I'm sorry, like LeBron goes up for a layup now, nobody touches him.
No.
Jordan had to like switch the ball 3 times through his hands. He got 4 people punching him in the gut every time
Jumping
he goes
off
up.
of someone's shoulders,
It's absolute insanity. The NFL, yeah, they've changed the rules, but do I want to see the big hits still?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you every once in a while you still get one of those big bone crushing hits? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like they had it in the Super Bowl.
Like it happens, but you're not getting those big huge hits on the quarterback like you got to.
No.
Do I miss it? Yeah. Do I understand it? Yeah. But you're still getting hits. I mean, those guys are, supposedly Mahomes was playing with like a busted thumb or a busted something.
He's always playing with a busted
those guys
something.
are always playing hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you understand the amount of pain that those O-linemen go through as they're doing their thing. There's a lot there. And then, yeah, you hear about these basketball players. Or soccer's another one, right? Where it's like, I've seen dudes like have a freaking seizure, and it's like, what are you doing?
The ball's not even near you.
Like the ball's not near. There's nobody near you. And again, I'm sure like you can get really hurt in soccer. I mean, going up for a header, or the way those guys slide into you with the fucking
with their spikes out. Hell yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, 4 nations. I think the NHL's got a winner there, but I think it's going to be tough going forward because you did have a lot of guys get hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
like a lot of guys got hurt.
Oh, opinion. Since you watched the whole thing, I will admit I didn't watch one single game of it. Is that better than the All-Star game?
I think it is.
You think so?
I mean, I miss the skills competition. I like to see those guys do their thing. I think Russia needs to sort its shit out because you taught that, you're missing a lot of extremely talented players.
Except fuck Jaromir Jagr. I know he's not a player anymore, but fuck him anyway.
He's from the Czech Republic.
Okay. Well, still, fuck you
from
anyway,
Russia.
Jaromir Jagr. Don't like you. Shout out Jaromir Jagr.
What the hell did Jagr ever do to you?
Oh, one of the last games that Hartford played against the Penguins, man. Jagr was just being such a bitch, and he was crying about the littlest things.
Bro, that was like 1997.
I don't care.
It was like and I'm a huge Whalers
I know
fan.
you
That's
are,
like
man.
1997.
I know, man. But still, fuck you, Jagr.
Yeah, okay. But I think because I think they went through it because I think they took these standings from the world hockey stuff, and I could be wrong, but they said like technically Russia is like the 2nd or 3rd best country in the world, but because of all the Ukraine shit and everything.
Yeah,
Because they can't be in the Olympics either, right? They're still not in the Olympics. So I think you're missing out on some incredibly good players. I mean, obviously Alexander Ovechkin wasn't there. So there's, when you think about all the really talented players that came out of, I mean, Detroit for the late 90s into the early 2000s was basically the fucking Iron Curtain, right?
Didn't they recruit out of Russian prisons or something?
I don't know where they were getting people from. I mean, it's crazy. So Russia needs to get their shit together, and just start playing international hockey again, because I think
that would be great.
Some of it I think is, I mean, like Sweden, was it Sweden or Finland? It was Sweden, but neither Sweden nor Finland, they looked overmatched. They beat us. Sweden beat us.
Yep.
We had our second string in. We had a lot of people out. We were waiting for the final.
Yeah.
I think if we had our full complement of players, it's the same deal, because I think Canada whipped on them pretty good too. Again, not to say they absolutely deserve to be there, but
Oh, yeah.
I just think I am just looking at this picture of Austin Matthews, and his forehead is enormous.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my
like,
god! Like, come on,
like I think
bro.
you can do ultra wide gaming on that forehead, man.
Probably, you
Like-
know. But again, it's and you know, you got to feel bad. I feel bad for Austin.
Shout out Austin.
because he got he plays for the Maple Leafs. That's just it's hockey's black hole right now.
Yeah.
Original six. You'd think they'd be great. They are like, I don't
And
know
back in
what's
the
going on.
90s, the Leafs were dominant.
The
every
Leafs
year.
were dominant. You think about the Leafs, the Canadians. They were always pretty dominant. The Flames were never really dominant. The Jets, there's a reason they left Winnipeg once. The Nordiques were pretty good in the 80s, and then into the 90s they kind of faded. But yeah, Toronto and Montreal have always had solid programs. I think Montreal's still okay. Toronto just hasn't been good in the last few years. But it's, this was also, I think, a preview of the Olympics. I mean, this is 100% a preview of the Olympics. I think this is a great way to showcase what the Olympics next winter will be. I used to be, when I was a kid, I loved the Olympics, the Winter Olympics especially.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I would watch some of the Summer Olympics, but I loved the Winter Olympics when I was a kid. And I was bummed when they started letting professionals play, because
They got all the attention.
well, no, it's not that they got all the attention. There was this thing, when I was a kid, right, which was kind of the people who were in the Olympics, and playing hockey and the major sports. Not that obviously when you get to like gymnastics or figure skating or things like that, it skews to younger people, and it's obviously very much you have to be wealthy to do that because you're not going to school, right? This is all tutors. You're spending most of your time. You see that, right? Cutting Edge. Have you ever seen Cutting Edge,
it's
right?
not Cutting Edge.
Like, but there was always a little bit somewhere in the back of your head, even though I knew I would never do it. In the back of my head, it was like, well, that dude's just a regular kid like me. Like, he played mites and I could get there. And now it's like, with the pros, it's not. I just feel like that the spirit of amateur competition is gone, but it's been gone for really. It got killed during the Cold War because the Russians started putting together their super teams and their super soldiers and all this stuff. But either way, I mean, this was, I think, a good way to reintroduce the professional players to international competition because obviously they're out of it, and it's going to be huge next year in the Olympics. I think it's a great lead up to the Olympics, and I like the Winter Olympics more than the Summer Olympics. The Summer Olympics don't do it for me.
No.
I've never cared about swimming. I don't care about diving, and
I like gymnastics.
shout out to we watched some of the gymnastics. We watched some of that. But in the wintertime, the Winter Olympics, I like to watch the skiing. I could do away with the snowboarding, but
I watch Olympic bowling. I can't remember if that's winter or summer.
I mean, I'll be very interested in the 2028 Olympics.
Flag football.
Flag football and lacrosse is coming back.
Oh,
so
awesome.
lacrosse is coming back. The last time lacrosse was in the 20s, I want to say. But it's a different. Again, it's a little bit different game.
Yeah.
They're playing what's called fives, so it's more like it's a little bit more like hockey.
And it's a smaller arena, right? Like
It's a smaller field.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a smaller field, and it's fives. So I think it's just like hockey. It's five and a goalie.
Gotcha.
And a little bit shorter field, which makes sense. It's a little more palatable for international audiences. I mean, that's another sport where we pretty much dominate in junior play, world play. It's the national sport of Canada. A lot of people don't realize that.
I
Lacrosse
didn't
is
know
the
that.
national sport of
Okay.
Canada. And they have a great lacrosse tradition up there, but they play box as a rule.
Gotcha.
Makes sense. Gold,
Yep.
indoor. Whereas we play a lot more the field game. If for us, you've got the PLL, which is the professional league, but like the pinnacle of lacrosse. And when I was a kid, and to this day is to play Division I lacrosse for. Again, when I was a kid, it was really just East Coast, right? So it was like Syracuse, Hopkins, Maryland, Virginia, Towson, Hofstra. Mainly really like a Northeast Mid-Atlantic game.
So no California or anything like that?
Not when I was a kid.
Not when you were a
When
kid,
I was a
okay.
kid, I was lucky enough to play lacrosse. Most of my uncles played lacrosse in the 70s and 80s in West Hartford. They had teams, at
Gotcha.
Hall and Conard, so they played. So I was exposed to the game when I was younger, and I played. And then like Newington had lacrosse when I was a kid. West Hartford had lacrosse when I was a kid, so I was able to play. Back like when I was in high school, Farmington Valley lacrosse was a thing. So there was just like one big league. Now every town like has its own.
Yeah, and they have girls lacrosse now. Too.
Girls lacrosse is a completely different sport, though.
Oh no,
Completely different.
Gotcha.
Yeah, men's field lacrosse and women's lacrosse are absolutely like the women can't check. They can't. I couldn't even tell you the rules of the game. We were talking about this at the hockey tournament yesterday because a couple of the girls play lacrosse. I'm like, I don't know. And then sometime not even the late 90s. Like I'd say sometime in the mid 2000s. I think as you start to have folks moving west and starting to play, it started to get big. And now, like, even some of your more traditional powerhouse D1 schools for, other sports like Duke is really good. Duke's won a national title. Hate Duke. Fucking hate Duke. Notre Dame has won a couple of national titles now. Like the program's out at the University of Denver, I think.
Gotcha.
They're not Division I, but. So there's a lot of it now.
This sounds like a very good education for Lodge. Like
the history of lacrosse.
I'm serious. No, it does not necessarily need to, but it's something you're passionate about. So that's something. That,
this is what I do. I mean, I've been doing this for I pretty much if you can do it in lacrosse, I've probably done it.
Yeah.
Right? I played, and I was like. I did some scoring in college, and then like I was a referee, and I coach a lot now.
Awesome.
So it'd be nice to see that back in the Olympics, Summer Olympics 2028.
Can't wait.
That's in LA, right?
And that's something we should open up here once we have our renovations done.
Yeah, definitely.
Down here, we'll definitely have some Olympics watching. I mean, just to be comfortable and pull in your families and then. And just watch it in style, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I'm just bringing up the 2028 website here.
Sweet.
Paralympic plan. Yeah, so.
Well, he does that. Bring back Connecticut hockey, please.
We have plenty.
We need a professional. We need one professional team in this state. Come on.
So I mean, so some interesting sports in 2028. So I think they did 3x3. Basketball last year.
Yep.
So lacrosse, it's called sixes. That's what they're doing. So
okay.
This is lacrosse sixes. So that'll be. Why does that?
Rhythmic gymnastics.
Rhythmic gymnastics.
Mountain biking.
What? Why does that look like that dude doesn't have a pocket in his stick? Dude, those gloves are fire.
Wow.
I'm a sucker for anything red, white, and blue.
Nice.
Mountain biking is all surfing, marathon swimming, cricket. I think cricket's new.
Yeah, I was like, that wasn't before. So
yeah, they've obviously had rugby set, flag football. Man, I just please, Roger Goodell, please, if there's any doubt, I have got to see Tyreek Hill playing flag football.
Yes.
Okay, I have to see Saquon Barkley go against China. Okay.
So there's not a weight difference by I think Saquon's only like 248. There's a weight difference of 250 pounds.
I have to see this.
That would be like the performances back from the 80s. Like it would just that'd be fantastic.
All
right, we're watching
flag
inaugural
football.
Flag football Olympics here.
Golf is back. I think golf was out. I think golf is back.
Yeah, golf is back.
Hockey. Oh, the field hockey.
Yeah, field hockey.
Field hockey. It's got to be field hockey. Again, we're so weird in this country with some things, right? Like field hockey in the States, it's a women's sport, right? Apparently, everybody else in the world, it's like a huge men's sport.
Okay.
I know it's huge in India.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
We could do a whole thing on like international sports. Like I've got a buddy of mine. Unfortunately, he's recovering. He had a glioblastoma, and he's recovering. But he played Irish hurling.
Oh,
ever heard of this?
I've heard of hurling. I've never heard of Irish hurling.
Absolutely crazy. I've watched this.
Okay.
It is insanity.
So what do we do with Irish hurling?
It's like they bounce a ball. Let's see if I can bring up like a YouTube video.
All right, sounds good.
Because it's like how can I even describe it? Like hurling Ireland. So here we go. Let's just bring this up. There won't be any sound because I don't pass sound right
That's
now.
okay.
But this is the game. Look at this. It's a soccer goal
Yep.
with basically a lacrosse ball, and they have to run down the field with these sticks and like bounce the ball on the stick.
Oh, and then like whack it in.
And then it's full contact.
Holy shit.
Like, this is what happens. Like, oh, hey, whiskey and bad decisions.
Oh.
Congratulations, Ireland. Like, look at this. Like, this is one of those things. Like,
And
you
you're
know,
not wearing any pads.
there's
You're
no
wearing
pads.
a helmet.
They're,
That's
they're,
about
they're
it.
wearing like a face mask.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is insane.
That looks more brutal than rugby. Yeah, like, okay, yeah, bouncing it and then
Bouncing it,
waxing
then whacking it, bouncing it, whacking it. I can't.
I would watch this.
I would watch this. Like, I would like, but it's just so crazy. Look at this. Look at this guy. Just like, boom. Look at him. And they got to focus on the ball.
Yeah.
Like, look at this
And
guy's
it's
eyes.
so little.
But look at their eyes. Like,
Yeah.
they're looking at this. And that is like the cardinal sin of a stick sport.
Yeah.
Right? The whole reason, like, I sit there and I tell my guy, like, you have to be able to know that ball is in your stick, heads up all the time. Hockey, heads up all the time. Like they say, like the worst hit. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh my God.
And it's not stitching like if you guys can't see, you're listening at home, it's not stitching like a baseball. It's really tiny, and they're just running down the field, and it's staying balanced on, I don't know what you call that, a paddle? I mean, it's like...
I do not even know.
It's-
It's
Oh
probably
my
got,
God, look at it! Oh!
It's probably got some crazy Irish name, like Lord only knows. That's insane.
All right.
So
We gotta look and see when hurling comes close to Connecticut. We gotta go
Right?
take a look at this.
So like I look at that, and what's the other sport that's absolutely Australian rules football? You ever
Yes,
seen these
yes,
psychos
yep,
play?
Yep. Actually, saw like they have a good sequel reel on
Dingo
YouTube.
ate my baby. Like, holy shit, dude.
No, I would not want any of our players playing Australian rules
No,
football.
God. They couldn't handle it.
No, not at
They
all.
couldn't handle it.
No.
Can you imagine Mahomes
Let's
playing
make-
Australian rules football?
Or Rogers.
Well, Aaron Rodgers has said, the Jets have promised to continue losing even
Even
if Aaron
after.
Rodgers is gone.
So that was a good transition, a good segue right there. Let's talk about the
Let's talk about
the upcoming
quarterback
carousel.
carousel. But
So I'm on Bleacher Report right now.
all right, let's
So-
check out Bleacher Report.
New York Giants. Daniel Jones is out. Tommy DeVito is not going to be a factor.
Let's see.
So,
What do we
and
got?
they have Drew Lock as the only other quarterback option.
Where are you under rumors? What do we got? Or
Here.
draft?
I'll actually put it in the chat. Let's see. It's right there. Hey, I got
Bold, do you think I can see the chat? But
him, Max. Nope. All right. What do you mean? You can't see the chat?
I don't see the chat.
No, my bad.
You're signed in. I'm not.
Oh, gotcha. You want me to
So-
sign up? I'll sign up.
No. It's all good. All good.
All right. Nope, that's not it either. Damn.
Oh.
We have a visitor.
We do. I meet one of my friends is,
Oh, no
is
worries.
here, so no worries. What's up? Hey, Kristen. This is your opportunity to be on the podcast, honey. Come here. She's
Say
She has
hello.
been begging to be on the podcast forever.
Forever. I made it. Second to Logan.
Welcome. Welcome.
We'll be done in a little bit, guys. Feel free. Make yourselves comfortable.
Please.
Look at what you need to look at. Yeah,
right.
so we got the, I could probably just Google it
It's
too.
fine.
Quarterback carousel.
Yeah, quarterback.
Is that what they're
carousel.
actually calling it?
Yep. The title of the article is previewing the 25 NFL QB carousel. Oh, this is from. Oh, never mind. No, that's from November. Nope. Let's not do that one.
Okay, so
I can see that because it was Bleacher Report and it was big. But
well, here's the draft. We're looking at what Shador,
Shador and then what? Cam Ward.
Cam Ward. Those
That's
are the
it.
two.
That's it.
That's it.
But again, we have all these quarterbacks that are coming up on their contract. We have Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold,
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers, which if anybody's,
Well, we all know what's going to happen.
I'm telling you,
The
he's
Vikings are going to pass on renewing Sam Darnold. They're going to sign Aaron Rodgers to complete the Brett Favre arc, and then we're good to go.
I hope not, man. If I feel bad for Justin Jefferson because he's going to pull Alan Lazard out of retirement and then
Yeah.
just have them hire all these ex Green Bay receivers and probably tight ends. Maybe Sharp will come back. I don't know. He's
Maybe.
just in the.
I think what we need to do is we need to prepare and then talk about this next week.
Yeah. All right.
Because we need to come correct.
We do.
We need
You're
to come
right.
correct
You're
because
right.
I think it's going to be, especially as we get closer to the draft, right? I mean, there's rumors that the Patriots could trade down.
Yep.
Which
Yeah, but they're only trading down to I think 6.
yeah, they'd trade down to 6.
Yeah.
But
And Vegas
what's the
would
kid's
take
name?
4.
Travis Hunter.
Hunter, yeah.
Travis Hunter. I mean,
I would rather have Travis.
I'd rather
Hunter,
have Travis
but
Hunter.
There are scenarios out there that say that Travis Hunter goes like number 2 or number 3, so Patriots don't get him anyway.
yeah. Well, who was it that said like the Raiders are like on pace to take Sanders?
Yep.
Which, I
But
don't
again,
know.
they probably have to trade up for that.
They probably would. Well,
I don't know.
It's a weak draft class.
It
I mean,
really
it
is.
really is a weak draft class. That's not taking anything away from any of these kids, but it's a weak draft class.
And I don't know if you guys out there like pay attention to any of this stuff, but they're like analysts have all across the board. There's no real prediction to this. There's no rhyme or reason to why an organization would take one player over another to fit their own needs. But they have some that Sanders does slide down to like almost like 8 or 9 or maybe even 10. Like,
I could
don't
see
know
that.
how,
I could see that.
but-
Well, because the
there's an O line like defensive
you have
needs.
so many
Yeah.
good quarterbacks in the league, and so many good back. I mean, look, love him or hate him, right? Justin Fields is an excellent
Oh, he's
quarterback,
great.
right?
Absolutely.
So I mean, and he was a backup.
And Bryce Young,
You
I
know.
think, can do great in another organization. I really feel bad that he's on Carolina, but
Yeah.
he could do great elsewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I think we definitely need to do a little bit more
we'll
research on this. But
takeaway. I do want to bring up, much to my partner's chagrin, that Juan Soto in his first at bat in preseason baseball hit a
Bruh.
home run. Hey,
Bruh.
let me have my.
okay, you can have that, but we
Thank
can
you.
both agree that the Red Sox still suck.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely terrible.
No,
They're
of
trash.
Of course, absolutely. No.
So
There's nothing, and then they have their own little controversy going on with Devers and Bregman. Like there's a little.
I mean, baseball's just a black hole of getting
Oh,
into.
man.
I mean, I don't know. Although, did you see? And this could be a game changer now.
What's up?
The Yankees have reversed course. Beards are now allowed.
I saw that.
Beards are now allowed. So maybe that's why Aaron Judge can't fucking hit in the goddamn postseason. And I
He
know
needs
that just spiked, and I apologize for everyone's ears, but you have got to be kidding me.
Don Mattingly, where were you the last 20 years? Come on, man. Come on, you couldn't do anything about that. Nothing. Well, I digress.
Mattingly.
Yeah.
Trim those sideburns.
Right. No, you saw
Greatest Simpsons episode
Oh,
ever.
I love that. I love that one. And they sent Daryl Strawberry who put up like 20 runs. He's like, I'm just playing the percentages. Oh man, that was a great one. Anyway, we like to have fun here.
Yeah,
So
we do.
well, before we wrap up, man,
Yep.
I thought we'd take a couple minutes to have the audience get to know us better.
Okay.
Okay,
I like
so-
this idea.
All right. So, you like music? Is music like a big part, or like
Music's a huge part of my life, but in a
Okay.
way that most people probably wouldn't think.
like what?
So, and again, don't get me wrong. I love, music, big Metallica fan, Volbeat, pretty much all music, except I can't get into country music. I've tried.
Jelly Roll's actually pretty good.
I just,
Like if you give Jelly Roll a chance, I think
I give everybody a try.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I hear the people, because for me too, some of it is like I look at him, I've seen this, I'm like, what the hell? What
Yeah,
is-
no,
what is-
exactly,
What
but-
are you?
yeah. No, he's definitely
Because when I
anomaly.
think country music, I don't think
Face-
I
face
don't think
tattoos.
Post Malone's cousin. I think
No.
like the Garth Brooks.
But he does look like he smells better than Post Malone.
That is true. Post Malone does look like he just crawled out of a Portland crack den. But
Okay, so you
but
like,
for me, so
okay, so
I like I mean, I like classical music and opera and Broadway and things like that. And
Yep.
I sing a lot. I
Okay,
sung,
I
used to
did not
sing
know
with,
that about
I
you.
used to sing with my mom.
Awesome.
sing. I love the Gilbert and Sullivan operettas, things like that. So I'm
Very cool.
that's me when it comes to music. How about yourself?
Also the same. Country music. Just couldn't get into it. The closest I'll get is probably Garth Brooks. But I mean, if you can watch any concert of his, like HBO did a great special, and he did a concert in Central Park.
Yep.
Don McLean came out at the end, and they did
there
American
you
Pie
go.
together. It was fantastic. Well, I'm with you. Everything, and
Yeah.
I'm big into jazz.
Jazz. Yeah, my dad was really into jazz. So growing
Even
up.
modern jazz, if you can find pockets of it anywhere, and it's awesome. And of course my girls have their
SZA, Skizza.
SZA,
I don't know.
Billie Eilish, and it always fucks up my algorithm to no end. And
You got to give them their own
What-
Spotify, man.
what's your? We're working on it. What's your guilty pleasure music though? What's an artist that you don't want other people to know that you like, but you can? And I'll go first. Nickelback. That's my guilty pleasure music.
See, I
right there.
don't consider Nickelback a guilty pleasure.
Really?
Nickelback's a good band. They're a good band. They got a bad rap, but they're a good band. Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, guilty pleasure, man.
I'll listen to some Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
I will listen to some Miley Cyrus. I don't know why.
What about like show tunes?
Yeah, but see that yes, but I'm a musical theater nerd.
Yeah,
like I did that
so-
through high
yeah.
school and college. So it's to me that's not a guilty pleasure.
Well,
like I'll bust
some
out a
people
song.
might, people who aren't
You
like
know.
secure with themselves, they might like show tunes have stepped up in the past 15, 20 years, man. Like,
No, I mean you go all the way back. I mean I like the old stuff.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
like,
Hello Dolly, Carousel.
Absolutely.
I mean, but it's my mom was really into that stuff.
Mine too.
And so I
big
used to listen to
Streisand
that.
fan,
And there was never Streisand in my
Well, that's
house.
good. You never had to
Yeah.
watch Yentl?
No, I never had to watch Yentl.
You're so lucky,
I'm
dude.
good. No, I had to watch. Actually, my parents, unfortunately, they were big Star Trek people, which for me was just a big no because I'm a Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
So that's just it's a non-starter for me.
Yeah, then they used to play didn't you play reruns of Star Trek on like Fox at 6 o'clock at night?
Usually.
Yeah, it was because you're only a year or two older than I am. Like,
Yeah.
So we're about the same generation.
Pretty much.
Did you ever watch any of the Star Wars in theaters, like the original?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, so you remember going to theater then?
So not so much when I was a kid,
Yep.
right? Because I mean, you figure I was two. I was 2 when Empire came out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But what do you call it?
Yeah, I was 1.
Yeah.
I
So-
remember though when I was 3, or maybe it was around 4. There was like a party at my grandparents' house on my mom's side,
Mm-hmm.
and they were playing Jedi on a VHS, like an old VHS of Jedi, and I remember watching that when I was like 4
Yeah.
years old.
But I mean, I saw them all when they re-released in the 90s
Oh,
because
me too.
they
You had
re-released all
to.
of them, before Phantom Menace came out in 99. And obviously I saw all of
unfortunately.
those. The last one I saw was the first Disney one. I did go to see it in the theater. It
Yep.
was at Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I almost got kicked out because within the first 4 minutes, I was like, this is an absolute New Hope ripoff.
Yep.
And Aaron
it was.
Aaron shished me. I've seen the second one, which was I couldn't even tell you the name,
The Last Jedi.
and then the last one,
The Rise of
Rise of
Skywalker.
Skywalker. Haven't seen it.
Don't.
Refused to see it.
Don't.
Refused to watch
Don't.
it.
Don't.
No.
It won't ruin your love of Star Wars. It will want you to punch
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy in the
No.
face.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
All right. So, what was your first? I know you play video games. What was your first system growing up?
My first that I owned.
Like, no. Even if you had like siblings.
So my
like,
my uncles had an Atari 2600.
Yep.
So like I played that. I used to love playing Combat. And then we got an NES when I was like 8 because that's when it came out, like 86. I think
Yep,
we got
came
it
out
the year
86, yeah.
the year it came out. So I was 8, and then all the way up through. I was never a PlayStation guy. My brother was, and then pretty much I'm just Xbox now.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
You know.
Finally got my TV up on Friday night, thankfully.
Nice.
So I got my Xbox. But I might drag that in my office and do and stream with that.
There you
Well,
go.
Oh, we'll see. I'm getting to like one of the curved arc monitors, and that has like a lot of
Yeah, it's got multiple inputs and stuff. Yeah.
well, that and it has like a gaming streaming on it. Like I can run the Xbox app through there,
Oh, cool.
and I can stream off of Game Pass and stuff like that. So that'll be
Yeah,
We're still
yeah. I do
figuring
the
things
Game
out.
Pass thing. Was $20 a month? I pay
Yeah,
for Game Pass. Like, yeah,
it's easy.
whatever.
But
It's-
yeah, no, like
yeah.
my brothers had a Tandy computer.
Okay.
So they had the tape. It actually played off of the cassettes.
yeah, the
right?
cassette tapes.
So
Yeah.
you know, they had Buck Rogers had a game back then, and Zaxxon was one of my favorites. But yeah, I had a 2600 like you, and then couldn't keep me out of an arcade, man. Every time. it
Yeah,
was
we
like,
had arcades. I remember the arcades were great. We had an old 286 that my dad used for work, and we used to play like Carmen San Diego and those
Oh, I
games.
love that. I love. Carmen
You know, I
San
think I
Diego.
still have those discs. Like I still have a bunch of 5.5-inch
You can
floppies.
play that off of the Internet Archive.
Can you?
Yeah, it's on there now.
I'll have to check it out.
Like Populous is on there. I think they have the first Sim City. Like you can play, and you can just play it right there. It doesn't. It streams well enough. I mean, the game's infinitely
Yeah.
compared to modern games.
Yeah,
and-
good stuff. I'll have
there's
to
a
check
lot
that
of
out
good
when I get
stuff.
home.
But yeah, we will come back with you next week. We will definitely
Yeah,
be more
we'll
prepared.
draft talk next week.
You know, we'll prepare more. But yeah, we're back, guys. We're not going anywhere. We still got some stuff coming up that we hope you like once we announce it. We have some things in the works. And again, guys, if you're listening out there, come on down, be on the show. We would love to have you. You don't
We
have
would,
to talk
we would.
football. You don't have to talk sports if you don't want to. We can talk whatever you want.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff we can talk
Oh,
about.
absolutely.
Stuff-
And another reminder, we have our league dinner this week.
Friday, right?
Friday. Mercado, 6 o'clock. We got the back room.
Yeah,
Um,
send a blast out about that in the text string.
Absolutely. Nick actually paid his dues. So we're only waiting on Justin.
All right.
Justin, come on, man. It's going to be a good time. I know. It'll be 2
It'll be
hours
fine.
out of your Friday night, man. Come on down. But with that being said, Tim, I don't know if you have anything else.
No, I'm good.
You
Let's
good, brother? Let's wrap it up.
Wrap up. Just remember, next week we do spring forward. So we
Oh,
we lose an hour
shit,
of
that's
sleep too.
right.
Yeah, spring forward next week.
All right. I didn't know. Yeah, that caught me off guard, man. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, yes.
All righty, man. Well, I am Eric,
And I'm Tim.
and you've been listening to the Village Idiots podcast. We are Connecticut's #1 Masonic Fantasy Football podcast because we are Connecticut's only Masonic Fantasy Football podcast. Be good, guys, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.